my name is Grant Crook. Thank you all for coming to my speech today. So imagine waking up one day only to realize that your rent has gone up again, your loans are costing more, and there's new campus safety policies that are taking effect, policies that you didn't even know about, didn't agree to, and definitely did not vote on. As a college student, I see firsthand how deeply local policies shape and change our everyday lives, from housing to price, transportation, and the regulations to student loan policies and overall culture around the campus community. And the more I've learned, the more I've realized just how many students don't fully understand how much political power local elections hold over our immediate environment. Today, I'm going to break down why college students need to vote in local elections. Specifically, we're going to explore how local elections directly impact student life, why student voter turnout has historically been low, and what students can do to register, stay informed, and actually create a plan to vote. Let's start by looking at what local elections control and why those decisions matter so much for students. Local elections have a direct and immediate impact on college students' daily lives. Local governments make decisions that shape nearly every aspect of life on and around our campus and our communities. City councils and county boards influencing housing, regulations, public transportation, policies, and even zoning decisions, even parking, that can determine where students' housing are being built and where students cannot park. Even smaller details like the parking availability, dining hall options, campus opportunities, dorm rooms are all controlled by the local officials. These aren't distant national issues, and they're problems that need to be solved every day. When students don't vote, decisions get made without considering our needs as students. In many college towns, residents over 50 vote at 3 times the rate of 18 to 24-year-olds. And many voters do not get to share the priorities, making choices that affect us directly. When we don't show up, our voices are not part of the conversation. Now that we've seen just how much local decisions can shape our daily lives, let's talk about why students should still vote at such low rates. Student voter turnout remains low due to a lack of awareness, barriers to information, miscommunications, and local elections. One major reason that young people don't vote is simply this. Many students don't realize how important local elections actually are. Surveys show that over 40% of college students say they don't vote because they don't know about the candidates or the issues. And honestly, with busy schoolwork, classes, and finals, it's easy to understand why students just don't vote. And they don't understand the local government, and it feels overwhelming to them. Another issue is the confusing around the voting process. Students often aren't sure whether they should register with their campus address or their home address, and many don't know where their local polling place is, or when local elections even happen. Just like voter registration, booth tabling are basic reminders about deadlines, making it even harder for students to understand and to jump into the voting process. So now that we understand the impact of local elections and the reasons behind the low turnout of students, let's talk about how students can get involved and can make their voices heard. We've explored why voting in local elections is essential for college students. We've looked at how local elections affect our housing policy, safety, transportations, on and off the campus, and we discussed why student voter turnout is low and the barriers that keep students from participating. And we also talked about the gaps in information and resources that often leave young adults feeling left out of the voting process. But here's the real truth. Local elections may not always be the first thing on a college student's mind, but they absolutely should shape our lives. Your vote can influence the cost of your rent. Your vote can shape the safety policies on and off the campus, and your vote can change your community. So here's my call to action. Take the first step and reach out to your local county center or your local community center or your campus voting organization. Find out how to register, where to vote, and where your next election place can be held. Encourage your friends to do the same. Because if we want a community that reflects the needs, our values, and our futures of the students, then we need to show up. Remember, your voice matters and your vote matters. And local elections are where it all starts. Thank you all for hearing my speech today.